let's talk about two of what I feel are non-negotiable skills that you need to have to be a successful freelancer. And so those are simply time management and communication. Like you can hone in on so many different skills, you can develop those skills, but the two that really need to be foundationally set in you is your time management and your communication. And so that looks a little bit different for everybody. However, when you're working in the digital space, when you're working online and you're having clients that you need to meet, you need to be pretty much an expert in communication and time management. Like people and clients are going to rely on you for that to take control, or you're going to just get walked all over, or you're going to be positioned where you don't know what you're talking about, or you're going to just be irrelevant and you're not going to be as helpful as like the freelancer that they need you to be. Okay, so here's just a couple quick tips on those. And if you have any questions, please reach out, DM me, because I have some different resources that we can get you polished up. Like if you're not like on a scale of 1 to 10, like 1, you're a horrible communicator and you have horrible time management skills, or 10, you're like, yes, I have it nailed. If you're not like that 8, 9, or 10, then we need to talk. We really need to get your skills honed in. And it's really, I mean, it's easy to get that done. It's just believing, it's getting those habits put in place. So it's setting that solid foundation. So I can definitely help you with that if you need that help. There's tons of resources out there as well. So the first one for time management, let's talk about that. It's really about systems and processes. So setting your schedule. So for me, my summer schedule looks very different than my school year schedule, but then it also looks different during my kids' hockey season schedule. So knowing what your schedule is and relaying that to your client is going to be super important. Okay. Because if you don't relay your schedule to your client, they're going to expect you to work on their schedule. And part of being a freelancer is having that time freedom. So I want to make sure that you are nurturing that and you're protecting your schedule. And so by doing that, the best way that I've found is when you take ownership and you're letting your clients know what your schedule is. Okay. The next one is prioritizing, making sure that you know what your priorities are. For me, it is rock solid, my family first, then it's my career and clients. Okay. When I let that get off kilter, it just doesn't feel right inside. So you need to keep your priorities in order. When I feel like those are kind of slipping, that's where I get to a point of overwhelm. That's where I get to a point of defeat. That's where I get to a point of burnout. So once I reprioritize what needs to get done, so that's my overall priorities. But you can break that down even more into priorities within your clients, high, medium, and low priorities. Then it's also important to make sure that you're being productive. Okay. There's a difference between being productive and being busy. Okay. So make sure that you're constantly doing that check of, is this bringing me closer to my goals? Is this a return on my investment? Making sure that you're being productive rather than just busy is going to get you to where you need to be. Don't overschedule yourself. Like honoring those commitments is also super important and goes right along with time management. Okay. So I went over this really quickly, but we're going to jump into communication. And if you have any questions on this or you need me to go deeper in something, reach out and I'm happy to do that. So we're going to jump into communication. So you need to take control of that communication. So I love when clients come back to me and say like, hey, a couple meetings ago, we talked about this and this and this, but I didn't take great notes. Did you? And I can say, yep. And I pull them up and boom, here you go. The next one is be upfront about your communication style. Like I let my clients know I check my email when I get to my office and desk in the morning. I check it midday and then I check it, before I'm done working. So they know that there's 3 points during the day when they email me that they will get a response email. Okay. That allows me to work when I want to work and how I want to work, without having the pressure that I have to instantly respond to a client. Okay. It just puts those boundaries in place. So instead of when clients ask questions, like I love when clients ask questions. Okay. But it can go back and forth. Like we can get email chain after email chain. Sorry. And it just is not it's not good. So what I like to do is I like to collect a few questions when I'm sending them back and say, hey, to move the project forward, I need to know this, this, and this, and then move forward that way. Does that make sense? Letting them know, like communicating and keeping them in the loop of where you are on projects is also super important. Okay. So that's something that you're just going to need to set up yourself. You're going to have to develop a process of how you communicate with your clients. And as you can tell, my notifications are going like crazy. So that's just part of my communication. My clients know that this is about the time of day when I am at my computer responding. So I have my clients trained where they're like, oh, I want to get into her window where she's going to get me a response real quick. And welcome to my life. So, but it fits perfectly with this video because it's all about communication. Like my clients know my communication style. So that is proof in this video. So have a great day. If you need anything, reach out. But again, I can't stress enough the two foundational skills that you need to have to be a successful freelancer is time management and communication. And I'm not saying there's not others, but that's a really good start, a really solid start to set you up for success.